Hang on, Sean. Are we allowed to even discuss disinformation vice information, given that Biden's ministress of truth has been fired and the office is on ice? Are we even allowed, without government permission, to discuss what is or is not information? Look, it's very clear why this is happening. Why did the Washington Post 2 weeks ago verify the Hunter laptop story after 18 months? I'll tell you why all of this is happening. They've got to throw somebody under the bus. Hunter's the easiest. Why? Because they've got to get rid of the senile old daddy who's in the White House. When you have approval ratings in the 30s, when most Democrats refuse to have him run again in 2024, you've got to get rid of him somehow. And if it means talking about the prostitutes, the coke, the Chinese money, the Ukrainian money, perhaps that's the easiest way, because we know it's all true.
Right. You know, Mary, the funny thing is the report that NBC News has says that he made this $11 million and that he got some of it from Ukraine as a board member of a company that he had no business being on. And $6 million of it came from Chinese businesses, including one of the people is now accused of fraud. I don't understand how, considering the crises that are happening in this country, vis-a-vis Ukraine, vis-a-vis China, the press is not more interested in this, considering how much time they spent going after every Trump kid.
Come on, Sean, you're smarter than that. You're not really surprised. Seb is absolutely right. They've got to get rid of Joe, so they're going to do it via Hunter. And I'm telling you, for all of the Republicans who think that, oh, we're going to take over the government at the midterms, and they're promising us that we're going to have investigations and we're going to have, find out who the big guy is and how much Joe Biden got. Nothing's going to happen. I feel like Charlie Brown trying to kick the football. The Republicans, the establishment keeps holding that football, telling me, no, we're really going to investigate. Justice will really be done. And I keep falling for it. So I'm not falling for it this time. Something, we'll find out that, yes, he did this, but Hunter's a sympathetic character and it wasn't his fault because, he has an addiction, and it's all going to go away very quietly, unlike what would happen if this was Don Jr. and Trump. It's going to be totally disparate, and it's going to make my head explode.
There's another story, Seb, that caught my attention with respect to Hunter, came from the Daily Mail. It's a reporter that the mother of Hunter Biden's other child that doesn't receive Secret Service protection, the only grandchild that doesn't receive Secret Service protection is actually this love child of Hunter Biden's. She's actually filing for a protective order against her ex-fiance, who's an MMA fighter. And according to court documents, there's a child custody lawsuit where Hunter Biden has never met the 3-year-old and would not be able to pick the child out of a lineup. That's according to the court. Those aren't my words. What does that say about the president's immediate family, that this is sort of that no one talks about this kid? They don't include him in anything. They don't acknowledge this, and yet they want to talk about all of this stuff that should go on with families and children when this is what's happening right in front of everyone's face.
Are you talking about, love child is such a lovely poetic way of talking about. Are you talking about the child
It's dinner time
that was born after he knocked up a stripper and he denied that he was the father and was forced to give DNA samples in a court case after which he actually had to confess that he's a father? You mean that child? The child who, by the way, the great uniter, Biden, the senile old guy in the White House, denies exists because he doesn't even know how many grandkids he has in that pre-Christmas interview when he says, oh, I know, I've got 4, or is it 5? He misses out London's child that is his grandchild. So the great uniter can't even unite his biological family.
Mary, I want to switch subjects because we had some breaking news come out today. San Francisco's Archbishop announced that Pelosi is barred from receiving Holy Communion due to her pro-abortion stance. The thing that I found interesting is that Roe v. Wade is one of the biggest issues probably for the church, the overturning thereof of it. And yet, we've seen very little comment from the leadership of the Catholic Church supporting this and kind of calling out folks, while Joe Biden's calling these ultra-MAGA extremists, people who support life. Pelosi's making equal pronouncements. And yet the church, outside of this archbishop today, has been very silent on people who've been fighting for life and the leftist politicians who've been against it.
Well, despite my youthful appearance, I am old enough to remember when the church was anti-abortion, which was a minute ago. But didn't Joe Biden say that the Pope told him that he's a Catholic in good standing, that he's a good Catholic? This just goes to show that the elites are not just in government. The elites are also in the church as well. The church is very powerful. Catholic Church across the world is incredibly powerful. The power is waning, but they're still powerful. And it seems to me, and I'm probably going to get excommunicated, but it seems to me as if this Pope also enjoys his power that he has. And so he looks sideways and he doesn't call out the powerful elite. If I was, advocating for this, I could be probably thrown out of the church or not given communion. So as just an ordinary low-level practicing Catholic, it's about time. Thank goodness. And more bishops should start doing this.
Seb, what I found interesting is that they're able to get away with these attacks. I pointed this out on Twitter. Biden's going to go and who knows now with Pelosi, but they were going to go this weekend to Mass and sit in a pew as part of a church that believes in pro-life stuff. It's been unequivocal in that. And yet when they put out their press releases and the tweets, they make it seem like the people who support these positions are crazy. That's what they call them, ultra MAGA crazies. And yet they belong to a church that supports the very position that they demonize.
Yeah, but by the way, that ultra MAGA thing that you thought would be an insult, it is now the hottest selling T-shirt on my website. The ultra MAGA, it's as clever as they were with deplorables. Look, as a cradle Catholic, God bless Archbishop Cordileone of San Francisco. Finally, after 2 years of COVID, where the church really shut down or put masks on their parishioners, didn't stand up for fascists like Fauci. God bless this Archbishop, who is just teaching, is just saying what the church says. There is no excuse to kill an unborn baby, to kill a child. And if you say you're okay with it, then you are not in a state of grace. You are committing a mortal sin and you cannot receive communion. End of story. Whether it's me, Mary, or whether it's the President of the United States or Speaker Pelosi, you cannot. And this is a brave man. God bless him. This is the American way. If you have a faith system, you have to live by it. You can't say, oh, that's my private opinion, but in public I've got a political one. No, either you're a Catholic or you're not a Catholic.
That's right. Let me ask you this real quick, and I want to get a yes or no answer. I get this is Pelosi, this is her archbishop. Do you think that there's any chance the church says anything about Biden? Mary?
No.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Sab?
They haven't said it for the last 16 months. Why would they say now?
I agree. I just think that sometimes it takes somebody, as you point out, having the willingness to lead. And what we've seen by this archbishop out there in San Francisco maybe gave some of the other folks enough of backbone, if you will, to finally do it. But I agree. It just doesn't sound like there's many other people that are willing to step up like they